Today we're going to talk about order of operations. Remember in class we talked about circling your terms, which remember a term is a number or numbers that are grouped together by an operation. Or also think of PEMDAS. Remember parentheses first, exponents, multiplication and division are tied together. You do whichever one comes first. Addition and subtraction, again, tied together. You do whichever one's first. So our first example is going to be 3 groups of 8 to the second power plus 4 groups of -3 minus 14. So I look for parentheses first. And although I see some parentheses in the problem, there's not a problem to do inside the parentheses. So the parentheses are really just being used as multiplication. Exponents. I do see an exponent. So I am going to circle my term that is tied with that exponent, and I'm going to do that problem. And 8 to the second power means 8 times 8, which is 64. I'm going to rewrite the problem. 3 groups of 64 plus 4 groups of -3 minus 14. Go back to PEMDAS. I am on multiplication or division. Once again, I'm going to circle my multiplication. I see multiplication here. I also see multiplication here. I have 3 groups of 64, which is 64 times 3, which is 192, plus 4 groups of -3. Well, 1 group of -3, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups of -3 would be -12 minus 14. Now I have all addition and subtraction. I either can work left to right, or really I can change subtraction to plus the opposite. And I'm going to do that. 192 plus -12 plus the opposite of 14 is a -14. The reason why I changed it all to addition is because if I have all addition, I can work in any order. And that way I can see that these two would zero out a little bit. And I would have 192 minus 12 would be 180 plus a -14, which is really 180 minus 14. So 180 minus 14, regroup, is 166. So the answer to my problem is 166. That's one example. Another example that I could do, now this one looks a little bit more complicated, but again, I'm going to go step by step through PEMDAS and circle my terms. Parentheses, I see lots of parentheses again. However, not all of them are made to do first. There's a problem in this parentheses, so I'm going to circle it. Keep going through the problem. There's a parentheses here, but there's not a problem inside, so I know that's being used for multiplication. And there definitely is a parentheses here. The reason why there's double parentheses is this first parentheses right here is used to separate the negative to the plus sign. So I'm going to do the values of the parentheses first. 5 minus 15 is the same as 5 plus a -15. Subtracting something is the same as adding the opposite, which is a -10. I'm doing nothing to my next circle, and I have 3 plus a -5, which is a -2. I'm now going to rewrite my values. This all gets dropped down to -10 minus 2 plus 4 groups of -2. Ooh, a parentheses right next to another parentheses. I'm going to stop there for a second. I'm going to look. I have no exponents. Multiplication and division. I'm going to start here. These two numbers right next to each other mean multiplication, but so does this. So all of this is a multiplication tied together. Now I know when I multiply, I can do it in any order. So I'm going to do -2 times -2 first, which is 4. A negative times negative is a positive. So now I really have 4 groups of 4, which I know is 16. I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to rewrite everything I have so far. I have -10 minus 2 plus, now remember this is 16. Okay, again, I have all addition and subtraction. I can work left to right. I personally like to turn all my subtraction to addition. So my first number stays the same. Subtracting 2 is the same as adding the opposites, so plus a negative 2 plus 16. Again, the reason why I like to do this is if you have all addition, you can work in any order. What I'm going to do is zero these out, and I'd be left with negative 2 plus 6, so my final answer is 4.